Hello everybody, this is Michael from the LangShack. Just wanted to introduce you guys to a new language. Some of you guys may have heard this before because it is a Creole with a very high status and spoken in what I have here, Caribbean, Netherlands, ABC Islands as some people call them too, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So Curacao is the one in the middle here, as you see. This is Aruba, and this is Bonaire. It's also spoken in Saba and the Dutch part of Saint Martin. It is an official language in Curacao and Aruba. I believe in the other places it's only a recognized language. So I am planning on doing a sort of an immersion trip for a week to Aruba, and I wanted to learn the local language. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of how I do it. So I'm going to try to document this, how I study this language from inception to when I get there and I'm talking to locals and stuff. Some people choose to use different methods and come up with resources and use, foreign language road running, or Link, or, Rosetta Stone or something. But I just look for different resources and I just study what I can find. So I have found, so I usually go to Wikipedia to look at sources, because sometimes they actually have pretty good sources down here. Like they have newspapers, like that's really cool. The Audio, Extra, Nosticia, Bible fragments, which might not be as important, just because it's not everyday language. But yeah, they have sources. They're in Papiamento, so it's kind of a little bit. It can be a little bit of an issue, but that's okay. It is in Aruban Papiamento, I believe. And this is entirely in Papiamento. But the good thing about these kinds of grammar books is that you can find examples for what you're looking for. If you look through it, you can find a sample that follows the sentence convention that you're looking for, and usually find what you're looking for. So we will be using that book a lot. There's a spelling rules book also in Papiamento. I'm not really as concerned with this because I'm just going to learn the words as I see them. But since it is a standardized language, I'm pretty sure it is. Because if it's official, usually it's standardized to some extent, at least in Aruba. Then I will probably look at this a little bit, but I won't be focusing on it. Maybe just looking at the sounds of it, so I can pronounce the words better. Because sounds is one of the first things you will want to do when you study a language, because listening to the resources you have is very important for getting connected to the inner workings of the language. You want to listen to it, you want it to become a part of you, and in order to do that, you have to hear it. The more you hear it, the more comfortable you'll feel with listening to people speak it, and then you'll be able to understand more when you're actually there. This word list is literally just a compilation of words that exist in Papiamento. I don't think it's actually helpful unless you want to see if something is a word or not, but I'm sure there are other words outside, because it is a Creole language that is formed from 5 different ones: English, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, and French maybe, or Arawakan languages and African languages. So it's got a whole lot of different stuff in it. There's also these newspapers here. I'm probably not going to show too much of this in videos just because it's copyright, but I will probably use articles and go through them, and then go through the vocabulary and the grammar concepts through it with you, and then just make sentences and stuff. And as I go through this language course, as we go through it together, I'm going to speak more and more of the language. So just be aware of that. I'll probably only use English to explain stuff because, I want this to serve as a sort of, immersion thing. So the more you learn, the more you see, the more you know. There's also this one, Papiamento Dia. So I think this just talks about sentences in Papiamento. Yeah, this has stuff. This has things. This is good. We'll probably go through this too. And this Bookish Plaza is a bookstore where you can buy books in Papiamento. So that's pretty good. So those are the resources I'm going to use. There's also this website on livingabroad.in, and that is just 122 sentences. I'm probably just going to use this one as an example for learning the syntax or the sentence structure of the language, just to see where do words go, how do you, in what order do the words have to go when you're studying or when you're speaking. Just for that purpose mainly. And there is also a course on Unilang, which is going to serve as my starting point. So you want to go through the pronunciation first and the consonants just to get familiar with what it is. It's not too hard because most of the sounds, we pretty much have all the sounds in English, or especially in Spanish and Portuguese, as you do in English. And Papiamento has all that, and we have all the sounds they have. And I'm going to go through some of these greetings and phrases, and then I'm probably going to do some more. I typically do my language stuff in 1 or 2 hour blocks, but for the sake of making it easy for everybody who's watching the series, I'm probably going to do these in 15 or 30 minute segments for people, so that it's done in manageable pieces. Everybody can, do a little bit per day, be low stress. Try to make this as fun as I can, because personally I think when studying a language and you're speaking it, you're building sentences and you're making progress, that's the most fun part of studying. So I'm going to post up a list of links that I found, and then you guys can just review them if you'd like. And I will join you guys for the first iteration of studying Papiamento. I'm going to be doing this through mid-September, and then I will be on my trip, where I will be out, as Lao Shu says, leveling up, and I will be out there speaking to the natives. So we will stomp this all together, and I look forward to seeing you guys in your comments and stuff and suggestions on what you may want to learn or books that you want me to go through, and we will start doing that.